Okay, so that's a triggering answer. Oh, I don't remember the name. The hidden gem. We all know Drake is from here, but we're not all about Drake in Toronto, you know?
I thought of that Kendrick song immediately. Like, check out all these Michelin star restaurants.
Yeah.
But there's this sick burger place at the subway station.
If you're looking for something a little more unique, though, there's this place called I Did Travel with a Friend, and I didn't come back with that friend because they stayed. And that really apparently threw some red flags up. Hey, I'm Jonathan Gazza, a photographer based in Toronto.
If someone's visiting Toronto for the first time, what's one like must-do thing that they have to do?
So if you're a very visual person, there's a lot of really cool views that you can access in Toronto. A must, even for locals, is to go to Toronto Island. You just take a ferry or water taxi and just have like a little picnic. Lots of gorgeous sunset views.
What do you do on Toronto Island?
So during the summer, there's actually a amusement park there, which is very family friendly. There's a marina, there's different like water activities. You can go paddleboarding, kayaking, that kind of fun thing. Sometimes there's concerts and other interesting things, but like it's just a great day to just spend on an island, kind of like beach. There's also a nude beach if that's like you're into that kind of thing. Lots of beaches to hang out and kind of enjoy aquatic views.
If someone wants to come to Toronto and do something that's not touristic, or they might not find it on somewhere online, what's one thing that you would suggest that they do?
Two parts to that. If you're into food, there is every cuisine globally you can think of. So we have a lot of multicultural areas of Toronto. So you can do just like a food tour, just kind of hop around, try different cuisines. And if you're looking for something just kind of interesting, there's a place called Graffiti Alley that is in Toronto. Lots of cool graffiti and artwork, and it's sort of tucked in an alleyway. Something interesting that's a little off the beaten path.
If you had to recommend like one restaurant that's like your absolute favorite, or where you take people when they're in town, which one would it be?
One of our personal favorite spots to eat is a place called Pi. It's a Thai restaurant, and it's been recently suggested on the Michelin recommended list. Fantastic place. It's got like a hole-in-the-wall vibe, but it's very delicious and kind of like a premium eat, so it's really good. And get the pad sudu chicken.
I was about to ask you, what is the dish? Okay, now I'm forgetting the rest of the questions. So what's one thing in Toronto that you think is a bit overrated and you would skip if you're visiting?
I don't even know where I would go with that. What would yours be?
Mine would be the CN Towers overrated.
You think it's overrated?
Yes. But I also just don't like being in tall buildings.
Okay, so that's a triggering answer. No, I'm kidding. In the summertime, one of the largest and most popular events is probably the CNE. And I'm guilty of going every year. It's our large fair that you can find that runs in the end of August. It usually kind of marks the end of summer here in Toronto. It's very expensive and it's very crowded. So although I do enjoy visiting out of tradition, I think it is a little overhyped at times.
What specifically makes it overhyped?
When I was a kid, it was a very different event. There was a lot of cultural events and stuff like that, but now I feel like it's just turned into what kind of weird, quirky food can we deep fry? It sometimes can be like $30 for like a fried Mars bar or something crazy, and I don't see the hype.
It's like the worst thing that you've seen fried there.
Oh man, they deep fry everything. Every year, like the new dish is like deep fried something. I think I saw deep fried pizza at one point, and it was kind of gross.
It sounds like a heart attack. If someone's coming to Toronto, what would you say is something that's a bit underrated or maybe under the radar that they should go do?
And there's a lot of really cool under the radar stuff that I actually think is way more interesting in the city. If you like shopping and food, there's a place called St. Lawrence Market, as well as Kensington. It's more like street vendors, a lot of little mom and pop shops. It's just like a lot of delicious, eclectic, and artisanal food. St. Lawrence Market is pretty close to downtown, so it's very convenient. It's got, I believe, some farmers market stuff there too. And Kensington's more of like a cultural kind of hip vibe. So there's just great tacos. If you like tacos, you go to Kensington.
Which taco place?
Oh, I don't remember the names. Honestly, I've had so many there over the years. No specific name. Honestly, they're all good in different ways, but they have more of like the LA taco vibe. Like it's very simple taco more than a fancy thing. And it's just so good.
If somebody wanted to experience what you think is like the real heart of Toronto, where should they go and what should they do?
So Toronto, there's two types of Toronto. There's I live in Toronto, and then there's I'm visiting Toronto. And in those two places might not be the same. Because like a lot of the locals will hang out in certain areas, but they're obviously not going to do a touristy thing. If you're visiting, I try to take people to more like the local spots, let's call it, or just visually appealing. One of my personal favorite spots, if maybe you've never been to Toronto, is to go to Distillery District. Distillery used to be a distilling area of the city. It's very historic, lots of brick buildings. It just looks very scenic. It's been in a bunch of movies. Some good restaurants, although a little pricey. It just visually looks stunning. It's like a place you would go when you're getting proposal photos, let's say. It's pretty popular, but like it's the place to go, especially if you're here at Christmas. The best spot in the city. Giant tree decor everywhere. It's stunning. Visually, one of the best places. Queen Street West. So there's a park called Trinity Bellwoods, and there's a lot of great restaurants all along that park area there. A lot of really great food that you can try in the area. If you're more of a photographer, Trillium Park is really great. It's where Ontario Place used to be. I don't know if it technically exists now. It's under construction.
Kind of like everything else.
Kind of like everything else. Holson Pier. Oh, there's just like a little viewpoint there. And if you are coming in fresh, maybe 2024 beyond, they've actually just built a brand new park that is in our area there by the Portlands, which is by Cherry Beach. There's some new parks there that not even a lot of locals have gone to. So a hidden gem. We'll flash a photo on screen.
Fair enough. What would you say is something about Toronto's culture that maybe somebody who's here for their first time wouldn't expect?
As we all know, Drake is from here, but we're not all about Drake in Toronto. You know, we have a lot of different pockets of neighborhoods and different cultural hubs. So rather than say maybe you're in New York, and like New York has a very distinct vibe and look, or you know, you go to Paris, they have a very distinct vibe. I feel like Toronto's a buffet of culture where you can go to different neighborhoods and each area has a very different feel, which is cool in its own way because you can almost travel the world without leaving town.
Like,
are we gonna trigger people with the Drake comment?
Yeah, I thought I couldn't keep this. I just kept thinking of that. I thought of that Kendrick song immediately. And
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh my god.
Say Drake, I hear you like I'm young. You bet like never go to sell black one.
so you're a photographer, professional photographer. If somebody wants to capture the best pictures of Toronto, which part of town should they go to?
So one of my favorite spots, and you'll notice a lot of the Toronto photographers do two things. They shoot a million photos of our skyline and CN Tower. We love tall buildings. For tall buildings, Financial District, you're gonna wanna go to an area around, say, King or Wellington, a section with like Bay or Yonge. So lots of tall buildings. You can shoot a lot of really cool areas. There's some courtyards around Commerce Court and TD Center. Look those up. Some of our most famous iconic photos with streetcars tend to be around that area. If it's in the winter, lots of snowy streetcar shots around there. But otherwise, if you want to get something like sunrise sunsets, you can go to a place called Humber Bay. It's a little further out from the core, but there's some cool bridges, great views of the skyline, a lot of rocky shores to make for really cool photos. Maybe a shout out to our friends in Scarborough, the Scarborough Bluffs. Scarborough Bluffs. Scarborough shout out.
Yeah, it's like, what's up, Trevor?
Scarborough. Scarborough gets a lot of bad
I was
rap.
born there.
Oh,
Were you? Yeah. If you are heading to Scarborough, if you pass through Warden subway station, the beef patties are delicious.
We go have the beef patties in Scarborough at where?
Warden subway station.
Okay.
Classic. Scarborough people will get that, right?
So you're
You
like-
remember? Yeah.
You're like, check out all these Michelin star restaurants.
Yeah.
But there's this sick burger place at the subway station. One of the things that I think people like to do in Toronto is eat, like you said. And there's supposed to be a lot of famous pizza places. And this might start some. But what's your favorite pizza place in Toronto?
So I haven't been there yet, but I hear north of Brooklyn Pizza on Queen Street is fantastic. It's like an Italian wood oven style pizza place. It's supposed to be maybe like top 3 in the city. Another one that's really popular. There's so many burger places in the city. And again, I haven't specifically been there, but I did ask my audience at one point, what's your favorite burger spots in town? And I was told Rudy's is the best. I see camera person smiling and nodding. Burger Drops, I'm told, is up there. Haven't had that one either. We just opened a Shake Shack, although I don't think it should be a top 3. Sorry, Shake Shack.
So if you had to say one place in Toronto was overrated, it would be Shake Shack.
Yeah, sorry, Shake Shack. Can we get an In-N-Out burger?
Yeah. All right, so someone's in town, they've got some good food, belly's full, they just want to hang out or kick it at night. Where should they go hang out at?
So there's a couple spots I think are really cool. If you're just trying to bar hop, go to the Ossington area. There's a lot of cool little microbreweries and bars there. If you're more of like watching along the water, there's Amsterdam Brewery, which is really nice. It's along the harborfront here, so a great central spot. If you're looking for something a little more unique though, there's this place called Stacked Market, and they have a brewery there, as well as a couple different restaurants and pop-ups. It's actually a bunch of shipping containers stacked, hence the name. You can go pop-up shopping and have some beers and a couple bites, and it's a really interesting area downtown. Yeah, check it out.
So you've been all over the world. Where do you think has been your most interesting experience you've had?
One of my quirkiest travels actually came from a trip where I took a month to travel from Canada to Abu Dhabi, Dubai, popped over to Australia all along kind of the coast there, New Zealand, Japan, and then back, which on my return, border control was very curious as to why I was going to a very eclectic mix of countries within the span of a month. So I did get asked a million questions, and I did travel with a friend and I didn't come back with that friend because they stayed. And that really apparently threw some red flags up. But my honest answer was he wanted to hang out.
So they thought you just left your friend somewhere?
Yeah, it was a little unusual. But on that trip, a quirky kind of adventure, which maybe it doesn't sound too quirky to people, but I thought it was really interesting. When we were in Japan, we learned that we had mistakenly booked a trip during Golden Week. And for those who maybe don't know what that is in the audience, it is probably the worst time of year in Japan to travel, as the whole country's basically on vacation. So I was traveling with a friend who didn't like to book more than like 1 or 2 days in a row at any given location. So we were stuck in Kyoto at one point trying to extend our stay, and they're like, no, it's Golden Week, you can't do that. And we just didn't know what that meant. And this is before data on your cell phones, let's just say that. So couldn't really search it up. Quickly had to find some accommodations. So we were looking up like everywhere around Japan. No hotel under $1,000 was available. No capsule hotel was available, which I really wanted to do. And then I was texting a friend who's married to a Japanese lady, and he said, go to an internet cafe. Now, for those of you who maybe travel to Japan, you're going to leap ahead and figure out where I'm going with this. But apparently, a cheap way to travel in Japan is to go to an internet cafe. You get like a little cubicle with a matted floor, and people pay like $10 and you sleep overnight at an internet cafe. So my camera bag was my pillow. We did that for 2 nights and then took off. And then later that week, we got stuck in another city, and now that we were experts, we learned internet cafe, the cheap way to travel in Japan. So, pro tip. I wonder if that's still a thing. I think it still is. Yeah, I hear like it's just like a very cost-effective way. Like the local Japanese students do it.
I'm gonna try this out. I'll make a video. How long can I survive staying in an internet cafe? You're a traveling photographer, been all over the world. Where do you think has been the favorite place for you to take pictures while traveling?
Iceland is landscape-wise probably one of the coolest countries I've ever been to. It's pretty much a free-for-all. You can fly your drone, go like almost anywhere you want to take pictures, go up glaciers. Very similar-esque New Zealand. New Zealand, it's a little bit of a trek, but similar to Iceland in atmosphere, glaciers, other cool stuff you can do. So a lot of variety.
You have to pick like one spot out of in either of those countries, like one specific place to go take pictures. Where would that be?
Ooh, Iceland, Mount Kirkjufell, very scenic. There's some waterfalls. It's a very iconic, like arrow-shaped mountain that you may have seen in Game of Thrones. But yeah, it's just gorgeous. Plus, you can see the aurora like almost any night, as long as it's not summer. So, yeah, gotta love it.
Okay, last question. If anybody, since you post a lot of photography content, you got a good following, if anybody wants to see your stuff, where would they find you?
Yeah, so my main page is on Instagram, and it's my name, so J for Jonathan. So it's J Gazza, J-G-A-Z-Z-E. I do have a new YouTube channel, goes by the same name. I'll be posting more travel photography focused stuff. But yeah, those are the two main pages I use. Thanks for having me.